Hi everyone, my name is Reverend Madison. I'm an ordained priest, a theologian, and a nonprofit leader. This is my channel, Translating Faith. Please subscribe if you haven't already, and I'm super happy to have you here. Today I'm going to talk a little bit, using a scripture, about why Christians should be feeding the hungry, why it's really one of our most basic calls in scripture, and why as Christians we should not be supporting anything that takes away food from people. So I'm going to start with Matthew 25, 35. For I was hungry and you gave me something to eat. I was thirsty and you gave me something to drink. I was a stranger and you invited me in. I needed clothes and you clothed me. I was sick and you looked after me. I was in prison and you came to visit me. Next scripture. We're in Proverbs 22:9. The generous will themselves be blessed, for they share their food with the poor. Proverbs 19, verse 17. Whoever is kind to the poor lends to the Lord, and he will reward them for what they have done. And lastly, Romans chapter 12:21. If your enemy is hungry, feed him. If he is thirsty, give him something to drink. And I do think I have one more in James. James chapter 2, verse 15. Suppose a brother or a sister is without clothes and daily food. If one of you says to them, go in peace, keep warm and well fed, but does nothing about their physical needs, what good is it? What good is it? There's so many more verses like this. In fact, scripture is filled with words of wisdom telling us to feed the hungry, to clothe the poor, to tend to the sick. But hunger is something we see all the time in scripture. Jesus feeds the masses with loaves and fishes. Jesus grills up breakfast on the beach after he's resurrected. Jesus shares his plans at the Last Supper. He's constantly feeding people. See, the important and interesting thing about Jesus is he's not just calling us to right belief, but he's calling us to meet basic needs. Basic needs: hunger, thirst, housing, shelter, clothing. Basic needs that everybody has a right to. Everywhere in scripture, we are being called to feed the hungry. It's so simple. No matter what political party, no matter what side of the aisle or anywhere in between, we should at least be feeding the hungry. That's all I've got for you today. As you can tell, this is a bit of a somber reflection because again, it's the most basic thing, and we should be able to feed families in this country. We should be able to feed children, babies. People deserve food. So when you think about your faith and what you're being called to do, remember how often we're being called to feed the hungry, and remember how often Jesus met basic needs by feeding people. This is Translating Faith. See you soon.